Alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam Allah, wa rasulullah. Welcome to our first class for tonight. This is the most important class that we have. This is our Aqidah class. Our Aqidah class. Oh, by the way, Sister Wefat want me to share with y'all, Arab countries are Zionists too. She said, like Layla said, they own the oil and the natural resources that we need. They don't waste their time with clothing and food and coffee. Sister Wefat said, you guys would be surprised how many Muslims, so-called Muslims, are Zionists who don't really believe in religion. Yeah, we know that. Sister Rashida, so what? Who cares about donating money? Y'all Muslims, you Muslims donate money to St. Jude's. The Muslims donate money to pagans. What that got to do with the cost of anything? So what? You Muslims donate more to the Zionists than anybody else. Y'all donate to St. Jude's Hospital. Y'all donate for those shelters, even to the animals of the world. So what that got to do with anything? That ain't gonna stop the war. It ain't gonna change the war. Y'all got to realize Allah is in control. And because we Muslims are stupid, I'm gonna be honest, and it's gonna be harsh, but it's gonna be true. Because we Muslims are stupid and uneducated, that's why Allah sent the war, to educate you on life. You shouldn't have been voting in those elections. How many of you Muslims voted for Obama? Raise your hand. Be honest. You did it. Like the Prophet said, our enemies, Sister Rashida, Allah promised we will never, I repeat, we will never, I repeat, Allah promised this nation of Muslims will never be destroyed by its enemies. Israel will never destroy us. Did y'all know that? We will never be destroyed by Israel. We will never be destroyed by America. Allah said our destruction will come from ourselves. Did y'all know that? Y'all put the fear in the wrong place. I ain't worried about Israel doing nothing to me. It's you Muslims, because you're not educated. You've deviated away from your religion, and you don't know nothing about how the world is run. The Prophet said this would happen. He said this would happen. We'd be stupid. And our faith would be gone. So that's the reality. Until you Muslims turn back to La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, which y'all ain't into, and until you get some education about the life, the world, you're going to keep destroying yourselves. That's what Allah said. Y'all worried about Israel. Israel don't control jack. Israel is a puppet whose strings are maneuvered by Allah. That's the reality. When the Mahdi comes, which won't be till a while, who's going to be the one to try to fight him? Can anybody remember? Will it be Israel? Will it be America? Will it be those United Nations that first try to denounce and remove the Mahdi? Will it be them? Who did the prophet say will be the ones? Do you remember, Rashida? I taught it in my series on the signs of the last hour. This hadith is authentic. This hadith is from Sahih Muslim. Who's going to be the one to challenge and oppose the Mahdi? Is it going to be America? Is it going to be the United Nations? Who can remember? Who's going to be the ones, guys? Which yo want to boycott and don't even know what boycott is. It's going to be the Arabs. It's going to be an army from Syria coming to take him out. Because all the Arabs will be fighting over kingship. They'll be at the Kaaba. All the Arabs will be at the Kaaba, representing every Arabic country, fighting over who's going to be ruler over the Muslims. Because the king of Saudi will have died. What did that hadith say? It's very detailed. Get off that mic. Somebody mute that person. That hadith is very detailed. The Arab countries will be fighting over who's going to be the leader. The Mahdi will come and say, I am the Mahdi. He's going to announce who he is at the Kaaba. The Arabs will try to attack him. The Muslims, Rashida. So again, y'all got to learn your religion. Y'all got to learn your deen. Y'all got to learn that everything that's happening in this world is happening because Allah willed it. Not Russia, not China, not America, not Israel. The prophet detailed everything centuries ago. And he told you why it's happening. He said, because you people who are living have deviated away from Islam. You don't know nothing about the Sunnah. You ain't practicing this religion right. You don't pray. You don't dress the part. Your allegiance ain't to Allah. It ain't to him. It ain't to those companions. Do y'all understand? So you better blame yourselves as Muslims for what's happening today. Blame yourselves. And alhamdulillah, all of you are doing the right thing. Y'all trying to make better yourselves. Because the prophet said only those who have the true understanding will be able to survive these times. So I ain't one of them type of Muslims that's going to sit here and say, damn America, kill everybody in America. Damn Israel. I ain't doing that. Because I know better. I know what boycotting is. I have a college education. And I know you ain't hurting nobody but yourself because you don't even know what a Zionist is. You don't even know what companies support Israel for real. The people that y'all saying don't support Israel are the ones that's fighting to get Biden to stop. So y'all ain't gonna have me sitting on this internet like these other uneducated Muslims saying, damn America, damn Israel, boycott clothing, boycott food. I know better. The Zionists own the oil. They own the internet. They own the resources that the rest of the world needs. They don't own this petty coffee and stuff. They don't care about that. Or clothing, makeup. Are you people insane? Yes, you are. You guys are crazy. Y'all understand? So I'm the wrong sister. I speak grassroots English. I ain't gonna sit here and put on a United Kingdom accent and tell you that the Israeli this, the Israeli that. I'm not that. No, no, no. And they're not gonna be victorious for long. They ain't gonna be victorious for long. We already know what's gonna happen to Israel. We already know, because the prophet told us. We already know that the Muslims will take back Jerusalem. But it ain't going to happen until the Mahdi come. We know that. When y'all learn your deen, you know. Because the prophet and Allah has told us. We already know. So we don't get off in all that ignorance. Knowledge. That's how you save yourself. Learn your religion. Take that emotional crap, put it on the side. Okay? And by the way, guys, since I did post up, it's shocking. I posted up on my Facebook page yesterday because y'all know last week the United Nations all met all those 200 and something countries, however many it is. Do y'all know that almost that 90% of them voted for the ceasefire? Did y'all look to see what countries didn't? All the slave countries. Hello! Let me talk to my African American brothers and sisters here. Y'all got your allegiance to slavery, black man salute. Your left, right, hey, mumbo, boogie rip. Hump, break down, hit it. Who supports Israel? Benin. Who supports Israel? Ghana. Who supports Israel? All those African countries where the slaves came from. Look at that. They were the ones that supported America and the United Kingdom and Australia in supporting Israel. Burundi, hello, did y'all see that? Burundi, Israel. I got some students here from Burundi. They support Israel. Haiti, did y'all see that? Geechee, where you from? Your left, right, hey, mumbo, hump, boogie rip, hump, break down, hit it. Haiti supports Israel. They voted for Israel. That's why I post that up there. All this sympathy you Muslims got for Ukraine. Ukraine supports Israel. All the Scandinavian countries, my Viking ancestors. Are y'all surprised? They are the Hitler people. Norway and all those Scandinavian blue-eyed, blonde-haired countries, they all support Israel. I expected that for them. But what I did not expect were those African countries. Mostly all the West Coast African countries support Israel. Some on the East Coast too. Somali doesn't. Alhamdulillah, Somali is Palestine. But look at those countries in Africa that support Israel. Guess which African country doesn't? South Africa, where all that apartheid was. They don't support Israel. They support Palestine. That's what shocked me. South Africa voted against Israel. But those other African countries where the slaves came from, Benin and Congo and all that, they voted for Israel. Hello. So like I said, you Muslims better get educated. Y'all better wake up and get educated. Hello. You don't know who your friends are. You don't know who your enemies are. And by the way, even though those Arabic countries, oh, by the way, forget about Vietnam. Where's my Somali Norto? The BTS, they support Israel. All those Vietnam and those countries like that, those Asian countries, Japan, they all support Israel. Even Japan. China doesn't, but Japan does. Y'all better get an education. Seriously, wake up. Talking about Starbucks. Starbucks ain't got nothing to do with this garbage. They busy trying to to fight against unions. Starbucks doesn't want to pay their employees health care because ain't no free health care in America. Starbucks ain't thinking about what's going on over there. They got their hands tied with their employees wanting to have a union and get unionized and get holidays off and work only 8-hour shifts instead of 12. So y'all got the wrong people y'all listing as an enemy who ain't got nothing to do with this stuff. Get it together, Muslims. All right, let's start the class. I know I said it before, but I'm going to start it for real now. All right, here we go. I thought you were going on vacation. Mr. Ron said he supports Palestine. The guy here that owns this program, he said, by the way, we support Palestine too, he said. And maybe that's why Facebook wants y'all to sign in. All right. Okay. Ina alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulallah. Welcome to our series on wala wal bara, diluting wala wal bara. Let's try to get to class now. Here we got all this typing. See, I can see y'all now. All this typing. Y'all like the brother here said that was a lecture. Layla gave the class. He said you gave the class. MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. But no, we got to go over this because our topic is diluting wala wal bara. If we Muslims understood where our allegiance is supposed to be, then we wouldn't be all mixed up like we are now, not knowing who to boycott and who not to. We don't know where our allegiance is supposed to be. Well, I posted up on Facebook and YouTube that you guys should have began. Do anybody remember what page it was? What was it? 290, I think. Today's lecture.
296.
290 what?
296.
Okay, page 296, which is chapter 5. We're beginning chapter 5 of part 2 of the volume 1. And this is a great chapter because it speaks about how, as Muslims, when we're living in a non-Islamic environment, we're living in a non-Islamic society, such as America, such as Ireland, such as Scotland, such as United Kingdom, such as Haiti, or wherever we are. The people are supposed to be divided into 3 groups because this is not a Muslim society. The predominant people in our countries are non-Muslims. So we don't use the scope that the companions use because their people were basically all Muslim. So our grouping is a little different. And that's what we're going to speak about in this chapter. how, when we're living in a non-Muslim environment or a non-Muslim society, okay, we group the people differently. And that's what this is about. So let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. Oh. Can everybody see? Okay, hold on. I'm looking at my phone. I can see it. Okay, yeah. So we're going to speak about the types of allegiance that we show to the people in our non-Islamic environment. First of all, I want y'all to pay attention. Allegiance and disassociation are fundamental concepts of our religion that dictate how we as Muslims should interact with different people. The Quran and the authentic hadiths, they're the ones that provide the guidance as to how we should deal with the people we encounter in our environment. Okay? And so in this chapter, chapter 5 of this book, Sheikh Karim Abu Zaid explores the 3 categories of people who are deserving of our allegiance and disassociation, being that we are in a non-Islamic environment. And I want you guys to know they fall in 3 groups. These are the 3 groups that we should classify people into that we come in contact with. Either they are believers, and what makes them a believer? Not the fact, let me talk about this. I got an email from Sister Deborah. Hold on. Yeah, okay, I'm here, Deborah. I'm getting ready to answer you now. I got an email from Deborah. MashaAllah, she's new in our new Muslim group. She read this chapter like I asked you guys to do. And she had a question. She said, one of the groups that we group the people in is, are they a believer or not? And she said a lot of her friends are Christian. They believe in Allah. So shouldn't they fall into that grouping? And this is a good question coming from a new convert. And the answer is no. Just because a person says that they believe in Allah, that's not enough. If you believed in Allah, you would worship him the way he legislated. Does everybody understand? The Christians do not worship Allah alone. Verse. They do not accept the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If they did, they would have converted to this religion. So when we use the term believer in this book, and when we use the term believer anytime as a Muslim, we are speaking about people who have declared La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If they have not declared that statement, then they are not believers. Does everybody understand that? And that was a very good question that you asked, Sister Deborah. Okay? So let's get back to it. There are 3 groups. Either they are a believer. And how do we define a believer? This is a person that has declared with his tongue, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. And then the second category are the unbelievers. And who are the unbelievers? The unbelievers is anyone else that we come in contact with who is not Muslim. Anyone who has not declared La ilaha illallah, that's an unbeliever. Christians are unbelievers. Jews are unbelievers. Wiccans are unbelievers. Buddhists, Hindus, Seventh-day Adventists, Jehovah's Witness, anyone who claims to believe in something other than La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah is an unbeliever. So that's the second group. And then the third group are the hypocrites. And this is the most trickiest of groups, because who are the hypocrites? A hypocrite is a person that openly declares La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, but they don't really believe it. They pray with us. They dress like us. They may even look like us. But they're hiding within their heart that they are not of us. And we're going to talk a lot about them. Okay? That doesn't mean that we go around trying to call people hypocrites. No, we're going to talk about that. But those are the three different groups: the believers, the unbelievers, and the hypocrites. So we're living in a non-Islamic environment, a non-Islamic society. Your neighbors are either going to fall in one of these three groups. Your co-workers are going to fall into one of these three groups. The people you come in contact with at the bank, the people you come in contact with at the grocery store, they're all going to fall in one of these three groups. And we're going to speak about each one of those groups and how, as Muslims, we should behave to the people in those groups. But we're going to start off with the first group, the believers. And we're going to talk about how anyone that falls in a group of a believer, there are certain allegiances that we are owed to give them. We have to show love, compassion, and support towards them. We have to rejoice in their successes and achievements. And we have to feel sad and empathetic in their times of hardship. For example, one of my students, Mayleon, she grew up here on my website. She's been coming here since she was like 12 years old or something. She just graduated and got her bachelor's degree in IT. Maybe she'll take over this website and help me here. She got an IT degree. Alhamdulillah, like my brother Isa. Okay. This was a great accomplishment for her. So look at how we all rejoiced in her success. During these years that she was in college, we motivated her. We encouraged her. We pushed her on. And now that she's reached that goal, we all are celebrating her success. We're empathetic. We wish the best for her, as well as a good husband for her too. Okay? So this is how we're supposed to behave. Our allegiance towards the believers includes rejoicing in their successes, their achievements, and becoming sad and empathetic when we have to too, when they face times of hardship. It also means that we protect them and we safeguard them from harm and danger, just as we would do for ourselves. And because of this, that first group, the believers, this group is deserving of nothing but absolute loyalty from us. No disassociation at all. We show our love for them and also hate for the sake of Allah too. If something hurts them, it's going to hurt us. And we're going to talk more about this group. We're going to talk more about this group today. Okay. For this group, the believers, What brings us together is our belief in Allah and our devotion to him, our allegiance to him and to the Prophet and those companions. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So for the Muslims that fall in this group, we show love and kindness. We treat these people with respect, care, without any ulterior motives or ill intentions. You should never wish ill upon another Muslim brother or a Muslim sister. You should want the best for them. You should want the best for Malayun. You should free your heart of any jealousy or ill intentions. And you would want to protect her honor, her character. If somebody comes and try to tear her down or demean her because they suffer with jealousy, you protect her, you defend her, just as you would want people to do for you. Okay, so, that's the first group. And also remember, when we say that we disassociate from anything that contradicts Allah, his prophet, or the believers, that includes the believers. We distance ourselves from people who want to harm other Muslims. We distance ourselves from people who speak badly of them. So we're living in a non-Muslim environment. You hear the non-Muslims talking about us, we distance ourselves from them. Okay? The same with what's going on in Palestine and in Gaza. The Zionists who have no concern for us at all. Okay? We distance ourselves from them. We don't support them. That's why I say nobody said boycotting is haram. The Prophet used to boycott people. That's the best thing to do. But the problem with you Muslims today is you don't know who or what to boycott because y'all don't know what a Zionist is. You're boycotting Starbucks, like I said. Starbucks does not support Israel. They released a statement 3 months ago. They said we could give less than a darn about Israel, who's going around killing women and children. They said we got our own problems. We dealing with people trying to unionize our company. And by the way, they said we ain't that type of company anyway. We a franchise. When you boycott, you ain't hurting Starbucks. You hurting whoever store that is that you boycott. So that's the problem we have. Boycotting, as my cousin Mukhtar explained, can be very effective if you boycotting the right people. Like that companion we had. He was the leader of one of the Arabic tribes. He hated the Prophet, hated Islam. But when he converted to Islam, his tribe produced the wheat. They were the ones that grew all the wheat that the rest of Arabia needed. So he said, since the Quraysh are enemies to you, O Prophet, I will not sell any wheat to the people of Mecca. That's a boycott. So the Meccans had to find another way to make bread. They couldn't have wheat because their wheat only came from that man and his tribe. That's a real boycott. Okay? Boycott can be very effective if you're boycotting the right people. But you Muslims don't know who the right people are. So you're just a laughing stock. The world is laughing at you. Okay? So, as Muslims, we disassociate from anyone or anything that may harm the Muslims in general. So the idea behind boycotting is good because you're trying to show support for your Muslims in Gaza, but you're going about it the wrong way. You're not putting a dent on Israel at all. Because Israel don't need nothing from you. They got their weapons. They got their supplies from America. And the United Kingdom sent an army. Did y'all know that? 3 days ago. The UK sent soldiers to Israel to give them more ammunition so y'all can boycott Starbucks, Nike, and all this other garbage like y'all want to. You ain't putting a dent in Israel. Israel got their backing from the UK, America, and Australia. Those are the 3 superpowers. And all those African countries like Benin and Burundi and what's that other one I named? All them African countries where the slaves came, Ghana, those countries all support Israel. They getting what they need from them. So you ain't hurting nobody but the man that owns that Starbucks store, that Muslim man that owns that Nike store. Okay? But it's a great idea because we're supposed to disassociate from anyone or anything that would cause harm to us. This is an obligation. We're responsible for protecting and safeguarding our fellow believers. And we're supposed to stand united together as one under the umbrella of Islam. And we're not supposed to tolerate any actions that can harm us. You want to help the people in Gaza? Like I told you, you can forget about boycotting because you ain't hurting nobody. You ain't capable of boycotting the oil. You ain't, because you need it. You can't boycott the internet because we need it. So forget that. But what you can do to help them is what the prophet said do. Show your solidarity by dressing the part. It's time that you women start dressing like Muslim women, like those Palestinian women look. They got 24 hours cameras on Gaza right now as we speak. The hospital there, the one that ain't been blowed up all the way. Look at those women coming in and out of that hospital. They all look like Layla. They got on khimars and abayas. Show your support for them by dressing the way you're supposed to dress. Look at the men. They got beards. Where's your beard, brother? The prophet said, fill the masjids up. The masjids that have not been bombed in Gaza are full at prayer time. Show your solidarity by taking your behind to the masjid instead of walking up and down the street, creating chaos all day with drums. That's haram. Go to the masjids for all 5 prayers. Give the salam. Dress the part. Show solidarity. You go into a grocery store, you see another Muslim, assalamu alaikum, sister, with no shame. Wa alaikum salam. Solidarity. That's what you do. See, I'm a unionist. You go into a bank, you see another Muslim brother or a Muslim sister, assalamu alaikum, brother. Wa alaikum salam. Solidarity. That's what I do. When I went to the hospital to visit my nephew, there was a beautiful Muslim sister. She had on a khimar. She was Arabic. She was sitting there at the front desk. She saw me and my mother come in. I went in first. She saw me first. And as soon as she saw me, she put her head down. You know how Muslims do. They don't want to greet. They act like they don't see us. I manned up, womaned up. And I walked up to her. I said, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. She said, wa alaikum salam. And I said, solidarity. She said, solidarity. And then she got up and she had a Palestinian cuff, that thing they wear, and she put it around her neck and told her coworkers, I'll take this to the back. Hello, I spurred her on. That's how we can help the Palestinians, guys, by acting like Muslims, showing solidarity as Muslims, showing that our way of life is a life of divinity, meaning that Allah's the one that laid our rules out. We're good people. We come from all walks of life. Some of us are doctors. Some of us are nurses. Some of us are receptionists. Some of us are unionists. Show the world that we're not the ignorant barbarians that the world wants us to be. We're educated. There are educated ones amongst us. Not all of us are ignorant and don't know what a boycott is or what a Zionist is. For those of us who have the education, for those of us who have the knowledge, it's our job to lead the way for others. We have to get off of these thrones that we sit on, pretending to be scholars when we ain't. We're too busy trying to pull each other down. That sister there, she's loud. Oh yeah, I'm loud. I'm supposed to be. My Lord commands me to be loud in the public. And brother, I'm a unionist. Do you know how bad a unionist I am? The state of Ohio didn't stand a chance with lailanasheeba. Hello. My name is in the back of the first contract. Hello. We got to stop trying to tear each other down and demean each other, and instead take on the leadership positions that we do have and claim them. Take back that Muslim personality. Take back our Muslim identity. First, we got to know what it is. There's a misconception about women in Islam. Everybody knows that. That's why I'm teaching y'all about the heroines of Islam. The prophet's wives were not sitting at home licking pus off of the prophet. They were out there on the battlefield with him. They were advising him. They were walking the streets establishing Islam with him and the rest of the people. Women always had a voice in Islam. Arabic women cannot be tamed. Why you think Layla the way she is? I got all kind of blood in me. I'm half Arabic, but I got Viking, Bantu, all that in me. Hello, you can't tame me at all. So we have to take back the true Muslim identity, guys, and show our support for the Palestinians, not with this stupid so-called boycotting when you ain't boycotting nothing. But instead, reclaim your identity. Look like them. Pray at the mosque like them. Have that strength that they have. Show that resoluteness that they show, that resilience that they show. Because you Muslims around the world, you're weak. You don't have their strength. You don't have their resilience. You don't have their resoluteness. And you probably don't have their faith either. That's why you ain't being tested like them. But that's what it's about. Well, better. The believers. We show our allegiance to them. That consists of love, compassion, sympathy, empathy, and also distancing ourselves from anything or anyone that may oppose them or harm them. Okay? Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is Allah's messenger, and those who are with him, meaning his companions, are severe against the unbelievers, yet merciful amongst themselves. That's how we're supposed to be. You Muslims got it twisted. You sit on the internet, on your YouTube channels, your YouTube shows that you have with all the millions of followers, and all you do is tear down each other. You're talking about this Muslim brother here, this Muslim sister there. He's an innovator. She's a deviator. She's a prostitute because she wears makeup. Oh, he's this, he's that. We're so busy doing that And then when a kafir comes and pretends to have an interest in Islam, oh, you sugarcoat them. Come on, honey, sit down, baby. Oh, we love Jesus too. Jesus loves us. Yes, we know. Oh, yeah. You are merciful with the unbelievers. And most of them ain't interested in what you got to say. They playing you. You're merciful with them, but you're harsh, severe with each other. Y'all see why Allah sent this war? Y'all see why Allah sent this war? It ain't got nothing to do with Israel. Allah sent it because he's sick of it. You got it twisted, Muslims. Instead of being kind and merciful with each other, instead of giving that sister the benefit of the doubt, instead of you looking at yourself and saying, well, maybe that brother knows more than me. Maybe that brother has a better understanding of something than I do. I'm not going to call him a kafir. Maybe that sister knows more about them hadiths than I do. I ain't gonna call her a prostitute. Maybe I was misinformed, thinking that it's haram to wear makeup. Maybe she knows something I don't know. Let me ask her for her dalil. We need to give the benefit to each other, but we don't. We'll curse each other, cut each other's neck off, but we have all the patience in the world with the kafir. That's not how the prophet and the companions were. So this verse of the Quran, Allah highlights to us that that's not how the prophet and the original companions were. They were severe and harsh with the unbelievers. They were only merciful with themselves. If an unbeliever came up to them, they put on it. Hey, what's up? You Muhammad? Yeah, I'm Muhammad. They weren't, oh yes, and oh, I love your tie. Oh. No. You brothers and sisters are twisted. Y'all better work on changing the condition of yourselves. Learning your deen the correct way. Too many of you have been learning Islam from a mathab. Too many of you have been learning Islam from a fatwa online website. Y'all need to get back to the real books, that Quran and the authentic hadiths, and find a true scholar. I ain't talking about a popular man or a popular woman. I'm talking about a true scholar that can sit down, who knows the Fusha, who knows them hadiths and their meanings by heart, who's learned from another scholar, who learned from another scholar, and so forth and so on, who can explain that stuff to you. And you'd be surprised to learn that most things that you thought was haram are lawful. You'd be surprised to learn that the prophet said most things in life are lawful. You'd be surprised. And maybe you'd repent for calling people kafirs and prostitutes and stuff. Okay? So, as Muslims, we're supposed to give the benefit of the doubt to each other and be kind and merciful with each other. Lower the wing with each other, but put on that buffalo stance with the non-Muslims. Non-Muslim come to me, buffalo stance. A lot of people ask me, why you don't smile on the internet, Layla? I smile in my Zoom room with people I know. But when I get on this screen, you ain't going to see me smiling. I'm going to buffalo stance you because I don't know who you are. You could be an FBI agent. You can be a hypocrite. You could be somebody pretending. So that's why I will buffalo stance you. I am severe with the hypocrites and unbelievers, but I'm very merciful and funny and hilarious with the true believers. That's the way you're supposed to be too. Okay? In the second part of that verse, It highlights the importance, again, of the mercy and compassion for the believers. That entails kindness, empathy, support, helping each other in times of need. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam emphasized the importance of brotherhood in Islam. He taught us that we should inform our brothers and sisters how we really feel about them, that we truly love them. Nowadays, you turn on a YouTube channel, you will hear a brother talking about how he hates this brother. I hate this brother. No, where's the love? We already know you hate every Muslim. When's the last time you told your brother and sister in Islam that you love them? We have the hadith. Remember, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the true example of a believer in their love and compassion for each other is like a body. If one part of the body hurts, the rest of the body feels it. You know, we're supposed to have love for each other, guys. And you should feel bad that this brother's having a hard time. You should feel bad that that sister got a divorce. You shouldn't grovel, you know, and be happy at what they're going through. Remember, guys, love for the sake of Allah. What does that mean? To love for the sake of Allah means that to look beyond the surface and see the good in each other. And love that person for the good that's in him, that Allah may love that person for. We have to stop looking for negativity with each other. Subhanallah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you love your brother in Islam, then tell him. Y'all know the famous hadith. Anas ibn Malik. He said, I was sitting with the Prophet and a man walked by and said, oh, Prophet of Allah, I love this man here so much. And the Prophet said, did you tell him? He said, no. So the Prophet said, go and tell him how much you love him. So the man went and told him. Then he came back and said, he said, oh, Prophet of Allah, I told so-and-so that I love him for the sake of Allah. And he said, and Allah loves you for loving him. I mean, come on, guys. When is the last time we talk about how we hate each other? When is the last time we told each other that we love them? Every time I talk to Sabrina on the telephone, because she done had a stroke again, I always tell her I love you. Because that could be the last time. When I talk to Antar, I love you. When I talk to Latifa, when I give salams for Assalamu alaikum, I love you. You know, we need to get in the habit of doing that. When I talk to Amina Fresno, I love you. You know, we got to tell each other. I tell Israel, I love you. Meliun, I love you. Norto, you know I love you, big mouth. You know, we got to get in the habit of telling each other that we love them for the sake of Allah. That's how we instill that solidarity. That solidarity instead of all this hatred against each other. Even though hate is another component of faith, but a lot of Muslims don't understand what does it mean to hate for the sake of Allah. To hate for the sake of Allah means I hate the things that Allah hates. I love this sister because she prays. And she dresses correctly. She's so sweet. She's always there to help me if I need help. But I hate the fact that she disrespects her mother. I hate the fact that she disrespects her sister. Okay? And so I'm going to sit down with her and I'm going to talk to her and try to advise her on how she needs to be more lenient with her mother, more lenient with her sister. So our hating for the sake of Allah means that we see something within each other that we may not like. So we advise each other to try to get around that and do away with that. Okay? We have to also understand that one of the problems that many Muslims have today, we're so twisted Just like we don't know who to boycott, just like we don't know that Israel don't own, that has nothing to do with Starbucks. You know, we're so twisted. Our allegiance is to the wrong people. We love a person because he's black. I know one person says, oh, why did most of the Muslims vote for Obama? They voted for Obama not because of anything except he's a black man. He's from Africa, and he played that stuff. He got the minority vote in America. He played on the Somali background and all of that. African American. He even played on my father's Muslim. Oh, if your father's Muslim, nobody thought to think if his father's Muslim and if he was raised in a Muslim school, he's an apostate now because now he's in church. So if he was raised Muslim, common sense should have told you he's an apostate. And y'all know what Islam tells us about apostates. No, y'all didn't think that far ahead. Because again, we Muslims are not educated. We didn't think that far ahead. But most of you voted for him because he was black. You voted for him because he was from Somali. You voted for him because he went to a Muslim school. You voted to him because his father was Muslim. All the wrong reasons. Many of you went so far as to say you love him. Some of you still love him. Some of you not only love him, but you love his wife. Michelle, she ain't never professed to be no Muslim, but y'all love her. Subhanallah. I want y'all to ponder this. A man came to the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and asked about the day of judgment. Want to know when it's going to happen, like a lot of you are asking. Well, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him, what have you done to prepare for the last hour? The man said, well, I ain't been Muslim that long, but I do love you and I love Allah. And the Prophet told him, you will be with those whom you loved in this world on the day of judgment. And when when this companion heard that, he said, Subhanallah, then I love you, I love Abu Bakr, I love Umar, because I want to be with all of them on the day of judgment. So this hadith shows us, guys, you can't fool Allah. You make him fool yourself. You make him fool other uneducated Muslims. But you can't fool Allah. On the day of judgment, each and every one of us will be raised up from our graves, and we will stand with the people we loved in this world. You loved Obama and Michelle. You love Black Man Salute. You're going to stand with the Black nationalists, the Black Man Salute. Okay? You love the Prophet Muhammad. You will stand with him. You loved your sheikh. You're going to stand with him. We will all be raised up and be with those whom we loved in this world. Think about that. Because the person you standing with may be somebody that's getting ready to lead you to that hellfire. Subhanallah. So now let's see how well you guys understood my lecture today. And I know it was kind of lengthy. We got off the topic a little bit. Let's see if you can answer these questions here. Question number 1. What are the 3 groups, if living in a non-Muslim environment, that we should divide the people into? Who can answer? I can see your typing. Go ahead.
Sound like we should divide them into the believers, the non-believers, and the hypocrite.
You guys agree? The believers, non-believers, and hypocrites. Y'all agree?
Agree.
Yes.
MashaAllah. Exactly. So what you need to do as a Muslim is look around the people. Look around the people that are around you, and they should be put in one of those 3 groups. Either they're Muslim, a non-Muslim, or you might be around some hypocrites. But don't call them hypocrite. Just keep it in your mind. Okay? Okay, next question. Yeah. Of those three groups, which of them is deserving of complete allegiance from us?
Believers.
MashaAllah, the believers. MashaAllah, the believers are. Good job. And I think this is the last question. I think. Allegiance to the believers is shown how? In other words, what do we do? What are things that we do? Or how do we show our love for the believers? What do we do?
We can show our love for the believers, like showing outwardly, like within our clothes, like our dress, like as you gave an example, as showing allegiance. As for our Muslim sisters during this time, wearing all abayas, kimars, brothers, stoves, beards, just basically together as one, obeying Allah and his commands on us.
Okay, by showing solidarity with each other. What else? How else do we show our allegiance to a believer? Oh, let me look on YouTube. I forgot.
By how we treat each other, being kind, understanding, helpful.
Exactly. By being kind and helpful to one another, treating each other good. Good job. And also we got an answer from Sister Imani. Imani said, by showing support for them, being there for them. Good job, sweetheart. You so beautiful. Look just like your mom. Exactly. Looking like your mommy. Exactly. By showing support for them. Good job. Sakina says showing compassion when they are in need. Also, good job. Sister Fatima said by telling them that you love them. Good job. Sister Sahra said by telling them that you love them for the sake of Allah. Good job. Amani said if they're going through something hard in life, be kind to them and just be there to show the support. Exactly. Those are all examples of things that we can do. We protect each other. We support each other. We're kind. We give each other the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to be so quick to label that sister as an innovator. Maybe she don't know. That's what I do. I'm going to tell you, as a daya, I'll come upon a lot of new shahadas, that are innovating in the religion, but I don't hold it against them. I know that they don't know. So what I'll do is pull them to the side and tell them what they're doing is innovation. And I'll give them, examples from the Sunnah, from the Hadith, as to how the companions did that action of worship. And they usually say, wow, thank you. I didn't know that, Sister Layla. So don't be so quick to judge a Muslim in a bad way. A lot of people were taught incorrectly. A lot of people didn't study Islam from a scholar. I studied from true scholars. For those of you who don't know me, I've been around a long time. I didn't teach myself no Islam. I had real scholars, very well-known, famous scholars. They're all dead except for one. That's Sheikh Abu Atiyah, Sheikh Morsi. Okay? So a lot of people don't have that, though. They didn't learn from real scholars. They just learned from people on the internet, or they learned from Islam Q&A. So we got to give each other the benefit of the doubt. Okay, also, this is the last question. Oh, yeah, this is the last one. What role does hate play regarding our fellow believers? What role does hate play in regards to our fellow believers? Anyone there? Yeah. What role does hate play? Does hate even play a role when we're dealing with other believers?
Yes, we disassociate from believers who are backbiting other Muslims and speaking ill about them and things like that.
Why? How does hate play in that?
Because we're supposed to safeguard their property and their life.
Okay, you're right, but I want you to use the word hate. How does hate, explain to the people how hate plays in that? How does hate play in that? Y'all to describe what it means to hate for the sake of Allah, in other words. What does it mean to hate for the sake of Allah? What role does hate play in our relationships? Go ahead.
Nothing personal. It's nothing personally. Only the things that Allah hates within that person, fornicating, anything that they're doing that's contradicting the religion, just anything like that. So it's nothing personal. You don't hate them personally. You only hate them for the sake of Allah.
And do you just outright associate because you see a sister smoking a cigarette? I'm just going to hate her and walk away? I need a little bit more. Y'all got to be more descriptive. We got new shahadas in here.
No, you don't hate her just because she's smoking. She might be going through some things. Then you sit down and you talk to her, ask her what's going on, or not being nosy, but ask her what's going on. Explain to her why that is a bad thing for the sake of Allah, and make sure that she understands that it's not benefiting her and she's doing something that is against what Allah says.
Exactly. Our way of life, and we give each other nasiha, which is advise. We advise one another. So I'm not going to, like I said, I gave the example of a lot of the new shahadas I meet. They may be innovators. Every Muslim hates innovation because innovation destroys religion. But I'm not going to, this sister, I know she probably don't know. She probably come from a Sufi background. Most American Muslims come from a Sufi background. So she don't know that we don't call upon the dead. So I'm not going to hate her. I hate what she's doing. So I'm going to sit down with her and explain to her that what she's doing is something that contradicts how our prophet taught us to worship Allah. And I'm going to give her the examples from the companions, how they reacted when someone died and all of that. So hate plays a role in our relationships. The fact that we hate everything that Allah hates, and Allah hates everything he made haram. And I'm going to tell the other Muslim that as a Muslim, the prophet said, you will never be a believer until you love and hate for the sake of Allah. That means to hate everything that Allah hates. And Allah says the things he hates are the things he made haram. Allah made smoking cigarettes haram. So you should hate it too. You should do everything in your power, sister, to try to quit. And guess what? The Nicoderm patch really works. I know a lot of Muslims who stopped smoking from the Nicoderm patch. You need some money? I heard it's expensive. By the way, I used to be a unionist. We fought for that. If you live in Ohio, it's a part of your conscience. Anybody live in Ohio, most insurances will cover the Nicoderm patch. I fought for that. Oh, yeah. So you advise them, and try to help them. But you just don't say, oh, because she smoked, I hate her, I'm done with her, I'm a distance. No, it's a process. The prophet used to boycott people. He didn't boycott food. He didn't boycott money, clothing, stuff that he needed. But he would boycott a person if a person was advised. If a person was advised and told that they're doing something that's haram and they continue to do it, the prophet would boycott them. If one of his children lied, he would boycott them until they, and have everybody else boycott them until they admitted what they did. His wives, on several occasions, his wives made him so angry. Well, not several. On 2 occasions, his wives made him so angry that he boycotted all of them. Even though it wasn't all of them that did it, it was 2, but he boycotted them all out of anger. Okay, because he would get angry. He knew not to say, I divorce you, but he boycotted them. All right, so boycotting, like I told y'all, is not haram. Nobody on this website ever told you it was. But what I'm going to always tell y'all is you're stupid. Get an education. Learn what to boycott. Like Mukhtar say, boycotting could be very effective. It's a way of speaking out against the evil. But you guys, Israel is a country, man. That's a government. Y'all got to know what to hit. And I'm sorry, you can't hit them in their pocket. They don't need nothing. They There's nothing we could do boycotting to hurt Israel, because their money is coming from the other Zionist countries that own the commodities that we need. So you can't hit them that way. You got to get them through like the non-Muslims are doing. I like the way the non-Muslims are handling it with their letters. They're speaking out verbally. You know, the non-Muslims going to Congress, talking, speaking up in Congress. Okay, that's how you get them. You know, but you ain't boycotting them because they own the stuff that you can't give up. All right, so that's today's lecture.